Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video, and in this video we are going to be continuing on with our HTML tutorial series with a couple more input elements. Now in this tutorial we're going to take a look at the range, the reset, and search input types. Now let's start with range. So range is essentially a slider. So let's say you wanted to make a system where you rate a movie out of 10 or something. Then the range input type would be perfect. So let's see how we can do that. So in your HTML, we're going to say label for M rating how would you rate Star Wars The Last Jedi? And then we can have our inputs type equals range, have its ID be M rating, and its name be rating, right. And then that's it if you just want it to be out of 100, but that's not what we want. There are attributes that we can use. So max is an attribute that we have here, and we can set the max to 10 and the min to 1. Okay? So now, if we save our code and we run it in the browser, and here we are, you can see the slider starts at 6, but you can say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it goes all the way up to 10. Now, you can use JavaScript to display the current value as it's changing. And in the JavaScript series, when we cover DOM manipulation, we will take a look at how to do stuff like that. But for now, just know that that you can't see the value by default. That's not what it does. But if I had to rate The Last Jedi, I would say it's probably a 2. I'm not gonna say 1 because it wasn't all bad, but it was mostly bad. But yeah, so that's the range element. And now we're going to take a look at the reset element. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to actually keep that code. Let's keep the reset. Let's keep the range code, and then we'll have another input. So label. In fact, I have a. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put these on separate lines. That way they look better on the page. And then we're also going to have another new line here where we're going to have an input to say, we're going to have a label for equals review dash text. Type a review. And then we're now going to have an input type equals text. And this ID is going to be review dash text with a name of our text. Okay. So what we have now if we save and run our code, as you can see, we have, you can see something went wrong here. And that is that we put the new line in a spot where it shouldn't have been. Okay. So now we can see we have a slider for how would you rate The Last Jedi. And then we have a text field where we can put our, where we can type our review. Pretty simple stuff. But now we get into this stuff that now we get into the stuff that actually is what this tutorial is about. And that is the reset input type. To do this, we can then go ahead and do a less than input type equals reset, like that, and we'll have a value equal to reset, like that. Go ahead and save it and run the code now. And so you can see that the reset input type is a button. Let's add some custom values into these. So I'm going to say 2 for the rating, and then we'll just say this was a horrible movie that should immediately be taken out of Star Wars canon. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for that, but I do not care. I hated the movie. So, if we hit reset, what do you think it's going to do? You hit reset, and it resets every value in the form to their defaults. And that's really useful if you want the user to be able to press a button and have all their inputs go away, to be able to have a clean slate, because sometimes that might happen to where something goes wrong in a bunch of different fields and you need to reset it. So that is the reset type. The next one we're going to look at is the search type. Okay. And the search type is relatively relatively simple, right? So we're going to go ahead and get rid of some of this. All right. So, what exactly is the search input used for? Well, relatively simply put, it is used for, say, you have a storefront and you want to be able to search your products. That's what this field could be used for. Or you want to perform some kind of employee search if you have a web-based employment system, or you want to search your HR system for resumes and job applications, that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and implement our own search input. So less than input type equals search. We're going to have this be an ID of search field. And then there's going to be a name of search. Now, if we save this and we run it in our browser, you can see we don't have a label. So what the browser will do here is it will say, oh, this is just a text field. So it'll say edit text blank or text field blank or something like that. And it won't tell us what the purpose of it is. Much like the email version of the input, the email type, this is primarily the semantics of this are the same as the text field, but the keyboard on mobile devices will change to be a more search optimized keyboard with a button that says search and all that kind of stuff. So make sure we have a label. Let's go ahead and create one. Label for equals search dash field. And we'll say search for a resume. Like that. And then we can go ahead and reload. And now the screen reader that I'm using is telling me search for a resume, edit text. Tells me exactly what the purpose of the text field is, and visually we can see we have a label for that field, so visually it tells us what it's used for. And that pretty much does it, guys, for this video. Thank you all so very much for watching, and we will see you all in the next one.